Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia, and thank you for joining me for episode 3 as review of The Tower of God. And what a brilliant episode this was. We had some great action, great character building, and some interesting backstories about a character that we don't really know all that much about. However, before we get into that, there's two things I do need to clear up about my previous videos. Number one, I was wrong about the fact that only one person can clear the tower and get their wish granted. Loads of you in the comment section informed me that basically that's not the case, and after going back through the episodes, I now see that I misinterpreted the information that we were told, and nowhere does it state that only one person can achieve the goal of reaching the top. So that's my bad. I'll put my hands up to that. I'm sorry, and I'll amend my kind of theories and thoughts as I move forward, with the idea that teammates can be a good thing. And number two, thank you for letting me know, to all of you who informed me, that Hats is actually a guy. And yes, this episode makes it blurringly obvious. We now get like a good speaking kind of lines from this character, and I'm like, yeah, they're right, that's a guy. However, anime can always throw a curveball at you, so that's why I got confused. Fate anybody? Alfonso? Just saying. Anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. With all that out of the way, let's talk about episode 3. And where best to start off than with Khun. Khun's character in this episode was brilliant. He seems like a character who's trying to break away from his past, as he's shown to have been banished by a very kind of well-established area and environment. This kind of castle-looking scene that we see him get thrown out of kind of tells me that he used to live in luxury and he used to have a very good life. However, he was banished and betrayed by someone who seems to be very close and very trusting of him. So he must have cared deeply for someone, and they betrayed him, which basically left his character with a lot of mental and emotional kind of scarring. And this character, well, from what I gathered from this episode, was a character called Maria, and she was said to have been his half-sister. Yet there were rumours about them going around saying they were romantically involved. And yet, for some reason, a betrayal occurred shortly after she was accepted as being a princess, which is basically what, her role was. And, yeah, so I thought that was kind of odd how the family that she belongs to was exiled with that in mind. However, if they are only half-siblings, then technically they're not a full family, so makes somewhat sense. But another thing that kind of got me thinking was the fact that they mentioned rumours being spread around about these two. Because it does two things, saying that they're rumours. Number one, it shows that this character of Khun was able to kind of express emotions and to have feelings that would not be cold and sadistic and calculative and logic. It shows that he could love someone. And maybe that was the case, and maybe he was betrayed in that way. However, the other fact that I have is maybe they were exiled, him and his family, because of the rumours. If you think about it, if you're a princess and you're going to be marrying a prince, basically ruling the place, then you're not really going to want to have rumours circulating about yourself or anybody else. You're going to kind of cut all ties with that. You're not going to have anything coming back to bite you in the backside, basically. And I think that's what kind of happened here. Maybe she was like, oh, well, now I'm the princess. There are rumours going around. I better just cut them down. Basically, I'll just get rid of him. I don't really want to kill him, so to say, because I do have kind of feelings for him. So I'll just kind of exile him and make him go away. That'll be the best thing to do. Then these rumours will die down, and I would have no problems whatsoever when I finally become a real princess or something. Maybe that's the way they were going with it, but I still thought the whole kind of vibe of that was a little bit strange. Now then, we do see this mother-like character basically grabbing hold of a Khun, and she seems to be very unusual in what she says, because she's telling him, don't trust anybody but yourself, and close off your heart. Basically trying not to feel emotions. And it kind of looks like she's manipulating him using words and her actions. Like, the way she's expressing herself and the way that she's talking to him kind of would be the way that you try to persuade someone or manipulate them into doing something that you want them to do. Maybe she's trying to get him to basically get revenge on Maria or just the royals in general, because we know that he's a participant in the tower, and maybe she knew that he could be. So she was trying to use him in order to get to a certain point or to take out somebody to exact revenge for her and her family. And she thought the best way to do that was through her son, which already harbors some bitter emotions and slight anger and rage almost. Because we see him basically snap in this episode, and I love that part because it does show that he's able to get away from that calculative and logical mindset and kind of become very aggressive, which I think is very good about the character. Now, this episode was a great showcasing of Khun's character from both an intriguing character building aspect, so we got to learn more about his character and develop it and kind of let it grow, blossom into what we know now, and I thought that was great, and it was a good showcasing of his personality and his mental state. Like I said, the scenes where he kind of goes and attacks that big kind of balloon guy, I don't really know what he was, and the fact that he's trying to, like, desperately panicking, trying to find the answer to this game, which I thought was an amazing game, by the way, and I don't know, there seems to be a few similarities between both himself and Bam, and they both have someone that they both deeply care about, but then that person left them and kind of made them fend for themselves. But it seems like Bam's kind of going one way in staying good and almost, he's staying kind of like, not childlike as such, but he's staying true to himself, so to speak, but still trying to find her. Where Khun could be going more the darker route and verging in the opposite direction, but still trying to find that one person that made him happy. That's the way I kind of think about it. Maybe you have a different interpretation of that. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. We also learned that the sky is a illusion created by Shinsu that was modelled after legends and stories about the sky and the stars and that, being passed down from generation to generation. This scene's pretty cool, but I would love to have seen what Rachel's reaction would have been after finding this out. I'm sure she would have been upset, and maybe that would have given her the drive even more to go forward. Who knows? But we get the first test, and this test was really fun, for the simple fact that I found myself trying to guess the correct door myself. I like puzzles. I love things that are kind of like puzzles in like shows and that, because I like to play along. I like to see if I can get it right. Admittedly, I got it wrong. But the way I was thinking about it was that, because my first idea was basically, there are 10 basically numbers on the clock that's being shown, and there was 12 doors, I think they said it was. So because a clock's normally got 12 points on it, maybe it was the 10th door was correct, because obviously it only shows 10. I thought that was like using your initiative and logic, but turns out I was wrong. You only had to open the door within 5 minutes. And honestly, you might think that's a boring test, but I loved the kind of meaning behind it. It's got the message behind it and the test of, are you willing to open your own doors to the path you want to go down? Will you hesitate to open that door, or will you burst through and move forward and power on through no matter what comes your way? And I like that message. That's a great message to have, as well as the fact is, the tracksuit guy managed to figure it out himself, which was probably for the best, because if Anak and Hats were there just on their own, they'd probably end up just cutting all the doors down and just fail the test anyway. But I would love to have seen what was in the pit. Yes, there was a pit there, and it probably was loads of dead bodies. But I'd just love to have seen it, because the reactions from the characters were just, they were very telling. And I don't know, maybe it would have upped the age rating a bit too much, but still, we can hope. And speaking of Anak, she was awesome in this episode. She had a great fight scene for this crown, which is the next kind of test that they've got to go with. And this episode the fact that she took the crown could basically be saying that she's a very arrogant character. We know that she's confident in her skills. We know that she's a very good fighter and she's very accomplished in that regard. And the fact that she took on all the other fighters on her own would pair up nicely with the fact that she might even think that everyone else there is below her own skill level in terms of fighting capabilities. That's why she took the crown. Maybe she's arrogant in the fact that she thinks no one can take it off her, but maybe she's arrogant in the fact that she doesn't feel like anyone's worth her time. And I think that if that's the case, that's seriously going to come back and bite her in the booty. But the other way you can look at it, and the way that I first interpreted it, was the fact is she's probably testing her own teammates. She knows that Hats is a very strong fighter, maybe someone to watch out for in the future, but she doesn't know much about her other teammate, the guy in the tracksuit. And I'd love to actually see him do something, which skill-wise, obviously we see him use his brain to get the test cleared earlier on. That was great. I want to see more from his character, and I think we are going to in the next episode. So, maybe, to sum it up basically, I'm hoping that it's not a case of pride and arrogance will be the downfall of a knack, but I think that will come to her character soon, so it gives her some development and some way to progress forward. Now then, to get to the final thing, Rachel returning. Now, yes, she appears, and her entrance was something, because seeing her with blood stains all over herself and learning that her team killed off everyone in their test in just under 30 minutes tells us that they are a crazy strong team. However, this tells me that Rachel's goal must be something different. She must have lied to Bam about her goal, because nothing about wanting to see stars, no matter how desperate you are, wanting to see stars, I don't think I would kill anybody over seeing stars. I really wouldn't. So, there's got to be something else. There's got to be another, another wish that she wants to be granted. Because this doesn't reflect the actions of a killer. Her goal and her actions do not reflect the same kind of thing. It seems a bit too over the top and a bit overkill. Yes, excuse the pun. But that's the kind of vibe that I got from this. Again, with Rachel, she seems to be hiding herself from Bam a lot. So it's clear to me that she knows that he's there. Why is she hiding herself? Obviously because she just doesn't want that interaction. However, the way I think this, honestly. This is my interpretation of it, and this is the way I see it. Bam, there is something more to his character. There's a reason as to why he's locked away. Maybe you're laughing at me, like, sat there going, nah, he's completely wrong. There isn't. But maybe there is, and she has found out this while she's been in the tower, and now she's teamed up with these people so that she can make her wish of freeing Bam from the curse that he has to bear. Maybe she wants him to get his memories back. Maybe she wants him to be free of any sort of curse that is placed upon him, and just to have a normal life. We know that she's a kind, caring person. I don't think she would have. Mimicked or faked all of the expressions and kindness that she showed Bam in the flashbacks that we've seen. So I feel like there's got to be something related to Bam and her new wish. That's the kind of vibe that I get. However, I also don't want her to be a character that's just like, just leave me alone. Bam, I've never liked you. I don't want you anywhere near me. Get away. Like, I don't want it to be like that when they finally interact with each other again. However, it looks like that could happen next episode. So, I'm looking forward to see what happens. Bring on episode 4, and let's see where this character goes. Plus, I've seen people kind of say, oh, expect, like, the worst reactions from her. I don't know. I'm just going to hold my judgment on that until I see where this character goes. And I want to... Basically, I hope that she has something a bit more than just seeing stars now, that she has this kind of new vibe, new kind of sinister appeal to her character. Because she does seem very sad and very distorted and upset. So, we'll just have to hope and see. To end off on a bit of a lighter note though, did you get the cameo of Zoro and a character that kind of looked like Brock Lesnar from wrestling. I don't know if any of you are a fan of wrestling, but yeah, the guy on the right-hand side just looks like Brock Lesnar. And then there's a character in the background wearing Zoro's outfit from One Piece. I thought that was pretty cool. Don't know if they're trying to reference that or not. But this was another super fun and amazing episode with good character building and interactions. The only annoying thing about this episode, to kind of give it a fault, would be Rax. I don't like this character just yet, and I thought his over-the-top reactions and his laughter, it's really grating and really annoying. So, I don't know, I just don't like this character. I think he's a bit too goofy. I thought he was going to be this proud, strong warrior, but he's being a bit of a goofball. Maybe he'll make my opinion change in the next episode or 3. But at the moment, he's just annoying to see. And yeah. So, I want to know what you think about this episode. Did you enjoy it? Are there anything that I've missed that you want to talk about? If so, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll happily engage in conversation. I want to know everything that you felt, everything you kind of knew. Did you guess the actual meaning of the test? Or were you already, have pre-knowledge? I'm rambling. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you then. Arigato, matane, bye.